This is exactly how I generated £50,000 of revenue for my client in 3 months. Now, I created £50,000 in revenue with no ads, no complicated processes, no funnels. It was just the DMs. Now, the funny thing is that most coaches are actually sitting on more leads than they know they have. They're messaging, they're starting conversations, they're following up, but they're missing a key shift that turns the DMs into a high cash creating machine. And here's what no one will tell you because it's not sexy. Not about sending more messages. It's not about using salesy closing tactics. It's about following a process that makes prospects naturally want to move through and progress through the sales cycle. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I generated £50,000 for a prospect in 3 months using Instagram DMs. Also break down the biggest mistakes that coaches make when trying to set calls, how you can actually apply this system starting today. And at the end of the video, I'm going to reveal the #1 mistake that is silently killing your conversations in the DMs, even though you are getting replies. If you've ever started DM conversations that haven't progressed to a sale, had prospects like all of your content but never actually buy anything, if you've ever been left on red while suggesting a call to someone, you are missing this casual core shift that turns prospects from on the shelf to in the business. Now, most fitness coaches are unfortunately being instructed to send DMs like this. They're instructed to say, hey, thanks for following me. I hope you find my content useful. Or, hey, thanks for following me. Did you find me through the Explore page or did someone refer you? Or, hey, thanks for following me. What are your fitness goals going into 2025? Problem is that none of these messages are ever going to turn into a prospect coming onto a call and closing. And the highest earning coaches, they always follow a structured process that guides the prospect naturally to a call and then to a close, which I've been over before. Once you understand how this works, the whole paradigm of the DMs will shift. So the reason why you're not generating 50K in 3 months using your DMs is because you're making these 3 mistakes. Now, mistake #1 is treating the DMs like a sales script. If you are following a copy and paste DM script, your prospects can smell it. I can even smell it, and you're not even messaging me. Second, a message sounds robotic. The conversation is gone. It's dead. Your DMs should feel, look, and sound natural, authentic, and free flowing. That doesn't mean you need to throw caution to the wind, have no structure, have no framework, and just treat every conversation as a case-by-case basis. Yes, you need to have a framework, you need to have a structure, but what you do not need is a copy and paste script that you've been given by a mentor. Now, if you do not have a structure and a framework to guide the conversation naturally to the call, you are not going to progress. And if you do not get this right and make this change, your messages will keep getting ignored, your calls will continue to not be booked, and your bank account will continue to not be full. Now, mistake #2 is building urgency. Now, if a prospect likes the idea of coaching or likes the idea of working towards their goal, but they don't do it, it's because they do not feel urgency. And if they do not feel any urgency, it's going to be glaringly obvious. They're going to say things like, I need to think about it, maybe next month, or I'll start next month. Or they're going to hit you with the old, I'll let you know. Most coaches try to create urgency by talking about how great their program is and how they have this and how they have that and things that I personally don't care about. The real urgency comes from how you guide the conversation and how you pull that reason for urgency out of the prospect through either doing one of 2 things: asking them what the consequences are of them not taking action, and asking them if something's, maybe happened for them to feel like they want to make this change. If you don't get one of those 2 things, don't expect a prospect to sign up. Expect them to say, I'll get back to you, I need to think about it, I'll ask my partner, I'll check my finances, because that's what's going to happen. No urgency, no sale. And ultimately, if you do not master creating urgency, you are just going to be stuck in the waiting room of getting clients. You're never going to get clients. You're just going to be stuck waiting for people to let you know or waiting to just follow up with people when the time is right. Now, mistake number 3 that's costing you 50k is not controlling the flow of the conversation. Now, most coaches who aren't creating 50k in 3 months do not control the flow of the conversation. They either ask really open-ended questions that don't really lead anywhere, or they ask hyper-specific questions around training, nutrition, ultimately do not create any emotional leverage and just give you fluff, noise, and just information. And ultimately, the best coaches, they understand the intent and the purpose of every single message. Every message has a purpose, every message has a next step. They don't just go into conversations going willy-nilly, free-balling it, asking really open-ended questions, asking really shallow questions, asking hyper-specific questions around training that isn't really going to do anything. You want your prospects to talk about their problems, not their training, not their current routine. You want them to talk about their feelings. Go into every single conversation trying to find out as much information as you can about someone's feelings. You don't even need to ask them what they're currently doing to lose weight or do X, Y, and Z. You just need to find out how it's made them feel. After that, then you can move into the further discovery process and get that person booked on a call. That is the difference between making £5 and £50,000 across 3 months. And for the love of God, if you want to make anywhere near 50k across 3 months, you need to realize that no one gives a shit about your coaching program. No one cares. The second you start talking about features, benefits, perks, what they actually get, even before they've got on a call with you, they start to switch off. The truth is, people do not buy coaching. They buy the emotions, the feelings, the outcomes that come attached to coaching. And once you realize that people don't really care about how you can help them, they only care about the fact that you can help them, you are going to sell more, and you're going to make the conversation more about the feelings, the impacts, the thoughts, as opposed to the product, the benefits, the workouts, the nutrition, and all of that noise, essentially. Now, ultimately, the 3 steps that you need to take to even get anywhere close to 50k in the next 3 months is to make every DM feel natural. Please do not use a script because prospects can sense it. Because ultimately, if it is a sales script, it's going to sound and feel like a sales script, which is going to turn your prospects off and cause them to ghost you. Step number 2, you need to create urgency. You need to ensure that you have a proper reason for that person wanting to take action right now. Otherwise, they're going to delay the decision, they're going to delay taking the action to get on a call, and they're going to delay taking the action to invest in you. And then the 3rd step that you want to take is realize that no one cares about your product. Do not talk about your check-ins, do not talk about if you have a course, do not talk about the course, do not talk about this, do not talk about that, do not talk about this benefit, this awesome new feature. People do not care. People care about what you can do for them. And once you realize that, your whole thinking mechanics and your whole sales mechanism changes, because you make every single interaction about getting someone closer to their emotional and deep-rooted desired goal than you do about them losing 10 kilograms, because they don't really want that. They want the emotions that come with it. I can't state how important that is, but also I can't state how impactful actually selling someone on emotion is, as opposed to features, benefits, and everything else that they don't really care about. Now that you know how I generated £50,000 in 3 months just using Instagram DMs, the next step is for you to actually apply this strategy. So ultimately, you can start seeing similar level of results. If you want me to actually personally help you and guide you and give you the systems to even get anywhere close to the result that I just mentioned, and there's a link down below where you can book a free sales breakthrough call. The whole point of this call is for us to go over how you can set more calls, how you can close more deals, how you can get more paid in fulls, and ultimately how you can enjoy the process of sales a lot more so that you're closing at least 70%, closing more paid in fulls and making more money, which is something that you probably want. If you don't want that and you just want to chill and you're retiring, that's cool. Soak up my content and watch it just to pass some time when you're sipping cocktails. But if you're genuinely in a position where you want to take things to the next level and actually make a difference to your situation, then click the link down below and we can have a chat. I'll catch you in the next video.